We'll call to order the September 15th Highways Committee together. Call that meeting to order, and the first item on the agenda, of course, is the declaration of pecuniary interest. It's our own responsibility to close any pecuniary interest that may have in today's item, on today's agenda. And the first thing is, it's sure wonderful to see Brian back for the day, and you're looking good. You haven't shaved in a couple of days, I see, but other than that, you're sure looking good. You had a nice tie on. I hope every day you're finding more strength, and you'll be back in full harness before we know it. And it's great to see you, Brian. Thanks for coming.
Thank you. Is the camera on? Perfect. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
So, Brian, we'll move right into action items 2A, supply combination snowplows and sanders with existing contract extension attached.
Mr. Chairman, you're probably aware that the county has 16 truck routes. We've got 14 of our own trucks and a number of spares. And in 2013, we tendered for trucks to work on our behalf in the countryside. We tendered for 2 routes in Paisley, 2 routes in Wyerton, 1 route in Lucknow. We received 3 tenders, 3 trucks, and we hired them all. And this year, the contracts had expired. The 3 contracts had expired, and it was the willpower of the department to do one of the contract routes in-house. Consequently, we required 2 contract trucks, and we felt that for 1 year it was the best plan to approach the one contractor with the 2 trucks to see if he would extend his contract for 1 year, and that's the recommendation before you.
Okay, I'll read the recommendation that the supply combination snowplow and sanders with operator contract be extended for the 2016-2017 winter season. We have a motion for that, moved by Robert. We have a seconder. Ann. So we got a motion moved by Robert, second by Ann. Any discussion on the motion? Jay.
Sorry, that holds up lunch a little farther. Question is, on the standby fees and not being able to fulfill your full routes, I believe one of the problems is on the years that we have the low snow problems. Is there a way to differentiate between that standby fees would be higher on those low volume years, and on the high volume years your standby is low because your truck's going every day? Would that entice more contractors to bid on these snow routes?
Quite possibly, yes. Quite possibly, yes. We anticipate that we're going to re-tender next spring for maybe a 3-year period for a variety of routes, just to find out what's out in the countryside. What we found out last time we tendered, 2013, that the rates went up. So they made all the accommodation in a fixed standby per day, and they put the variability in the hourly rate. Because, naturally it becomes more complicated to put too many variables in, to say, okay, they provide the standby and they provide the hourly rate. And then you make a comparison based on average numbers. So, but we could do that. We could talk to the contractors of the area and pose the question, would it be more attractive if we adjusted that rate, as you mentioned, the standby rate?
Okay, excellent. That's a good suggestion for the future contracts, but we need to deal with the recommendation we have before you today. So any other discussion on the recommendation? All those in favor of the recommendation? That's carried. Thank you. The next item on the agenda, Brian, is the handrail pricing in the Lucknow culvert. Is that...
This was a project that we completed in Lucknow last year, and we had struggled with the application of the handrail. One of the pictures identifies a handrail with just 2 horizontal bars. Unfortunately, we struggled with the appropriate code upon which to make this application. In both applications on the north and the south side there's a distinct hazard, and we wanted the application to be similar both north and south. So what we finally came up with, that we had to apply a building code type application where the bars prevent a young child from crawling through. So we were unable to do that type of standard both sides. So, and it was a bit more costly than we would have liked. So finally we had BM Ross come up with a suggestion, a recommendation, a plan, and that we would tender, and it's not been tendered yet. It seeks your approval to move ahead with the budget value of, I think, $30,000. So that's how we got to where we are, Mr. Chairman. And this is the completion of the job that we had done in Lucknow, starting, I think, 2014, top lift in 15, and this is an outstanding issue that we want to complete.
Very good. The recommendation reads that the cost of approximately $30,000 for the supply and installation of a handrail on the Lucknow culvert, number 8611-700, be funded from the bridge reserve. Moved by Milt, seconded by Wilford. Any discussion on the motion? All those in favor of the motion? That's carried. Thank you. So that takes us, Brian.
To tender summary, Mr. Chairman?
Sure.
Yes. We offer, if there's any questions concerning the summary, the three tenders, quotations, and the two contracts. We'd respond to any questions, Mr. Chairman.
Okay, any questions? I'll read the recommendation that the warden and clerk be authorized to sign the following tender contract as per section 13.2.13 of the County of Bruce Purchasing and Procurement Policy. Have a mover for that motion. Moved by Mike, second by Dan. Any discussion on the motion? All those in favor of the motion? And that's carried. Excellent. Moving right along here, Brian.
We have a number of, for information, reports.
Yeah, West Road Environmental Assessment for information. Items A.
Can we offer any questions on A, perhaps, West Road Environmental Assessment?
Well, the recommendation is the report of the West Road Environmental Assessment is here for information, which we don't have the assessment. We're just suggesting we're going to see it in the spring of 17. Is that what the process is? Yeah. For various reasons. Jay.
So what I understand is the EA is completed?
No.
Oh, so it's not, so
It's
I just-
ongoing.
Okay, so when it is completed, it will be available to the committee and then,
The environmental assessment is quite a process. Itself is a process. So the next step in the process is to approach the public with our information to date and a variety of potential solutions.
so we're not at that point yet to be able to give any ideas of where the EA is at and what, so there's...
We're really clear where we're at. We're just unable to move it forward into the next phase and identify the potential solutions. And to do that, in my opinion is requires the same as we did in the summer of 2015, is to go to the two councils with potential solutions and then host one or two public meetings. But unfortunately, for one reason or another, we just didn't have the ability to do it during the summer or during early fall when the people were available.
Okay, Jay? Okay, any other questions on that information item? If not, we're moving on to the next information item is a report on the 2017 proposed equipment purchases. This is for information. Anyone have any questions on that report? All's good? Thank you, Sherry, for a very excellent report there. And we'll move on to information item C, the 2017 Ontario Good Roads Association Conference. And that's just was to make sure you're aware of the conference, and on February the 26th to the March 1st. It's a little bit later this year, right? And you got to
Yes,
start booking your rooms, yeah. Any questions on that information item? I'm sure you'll all see it come through at your municipal level.
Sherry D might remind me, but I think we move ahead and book rooms for Or does Darlene approach committee to see who's interested? Yes, okay. So it's well taken, it's well in hand.
It's all under control, that's right. Any other items other than the next meeting is October the 27th, 2016? Nothing further for the good of the highways? Well, we'll look for a motion to adjourn, and after that was a hard morning's work, moved by Ann, seconded by Milt. Any discussion? We're adjourned. Thank you, everyone.